today episode is going to be like episode number 4, right? So I try to make a very brief and very quick presentation about today's episode. Let's talk about the equivalence of the English grammars and the stress syllable, okay, the equivalence of the stress syllables in English and the equivalence of that in Vietnamese. Like when you try to describe Vietnamese to the native speakers of English, to English speaking people, and you say that, oh, in Vietnamese language we have a system of accent, right? Là dấu ngã, dấu hỏi, dấu quyền, dấu nặng, all of this one, dấu sắc, dấu huyền. And then to a lot of native speakers of English speaking people, they say that, oh, English, we don't have this kind of stuff. But to me, but for me, you know what, knowing both languages, and I've probably been speaking languages quite some times now, I think that English, they do have, like the system of intonation. They do have the intonation system, okay? Not the exact same system that we have in Vietnamese, but it's similar, right? It's kind of like the word dictionary, or university, right? Dictionary is kind of like the syllable that you stress is the first one, dictionary, and then the syllable immediately follow the first syllable, which is the stress syllable. You always have shun. That's kind of like dấu quyền, right? The first syllable is kind of like dấu sắc, dictionary. Or let's examine and take a look at another word, university, right? The syllable that we place stress on is verb, university. That stress syllable is kind of like dấu sắc, right? And then the syllable immediately follow the verb is kind of like dấu quyền, city, university. Hoặc là Colombia, right? And then you said fast enough, Colombia, you don't even notice that. It's kind of like, it's not the exact things, otherwise it would be so obvious, right? But they actually have something similar to it. That's the system of intonation for me, okay? And then in English, you probably study, different tenses of a verb to describe, where the action occurred. Like you have the past, the present, and the future, and then the continuous, like present, perfect, right? So you have like the past. And then in Vietnamese, we don't have the verb that actually have a different form, like the present, future, and the past, or past participle. In English, English verb, they actually have different forms of one verb, right? Like go, went, which is the past tense of go, and then gone, which is the past participle, right? Or do, did, and done, right? Those are the three forms of the same verb. But in Vietnamese, we don't have that, but we have something similar to it to describe, something in the past. You just add a word to it. You just add by adding a word đã to describe something like it's continuous. You just add a word like đang, tôi đang làm việc, tôi đang ăn, right? Hay là tôi đã làm cái đó rồi. So you don't have, like different forms of the same verb, but you do have a different word you use to describe an action in the past, all that. And I remember when I was in Vietnam, I'm taking classes at night, okay? They teach in English at night at one of the community college. It's kind of like trường đại học cao đẳng, community college, Tôn Đức Thắng. I taking classes at night, and I remember that, they were discussing, different tenses and when you use those tenses, like a present perfect and a past perfect. They say a present perfect describe an action to describe something that you started in the past and you continue, up to the present time, right? So that means it's kind of like từ trước tới giờ tôi đang làm cái này, từ trước tới giờ tôi vẫn học cái này. Mình dùng cái từ là từ trước tới giờ. Okay, so you're looking for a certain phrase, certain word like that. So when you translate, Vietnamese into English, Vietnamese into English, and when you try to looking for a certain word, that word match with certain tenses, and then you're going to use, that is a present perfect. And the past perfect is used to describe an action that occurred before another action in the past. I remember they say that past perfect dùng để diễn tả một cái hành động đã xảy ra trong quá khứ trước một hành động quá khứ khác. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Am I having such a good memory? Am I not having? Oh, I do have such a good memory. I remember vividly. That's exactly what they say. A past perfect tense is used to describe an action in the past that occurred before another action in the past. But how do you say that in Vietnamese? It's kind of like now you're looking for a certain word or certain phrases. It's kind of saying trước khi mà tôi đến chỗ đó thì cô ấy đã có mặt ở đó rồi. Trước khi mà tôi đến chỗ đó là cô đó đã làm cái này rồi. Cho nên họ dùng cái chữ là đã làm, nhưng mà trước khi cô đã làm, tôi đã đến đó. So when you see the presence of certain phrase, a certain word, you feel like that's a present perfect. Oh, that's a past perfect. Oh, that's the past. Oh, that's the future, because you see the presence of the word sẽ, you see the presence of the word đã, you see the presence of the word đang. Okay, cũng giống như kiểu mà mình nói vậy. Before I had gotten there, she was there, right? Before I had done this thing, she did that. So the presence of certain phrases and certain words help you to determine what kind of tense, what kind of tense of the sentence. So in a way, the intonation system, both languages has that. Grammar, both languages, English and Vietnamese, has the same thing, except that it's not very obvious. So if you were to teach, let's say, Vietnamese to another not a native speaker of Vietnamese, if you were to teach a foreigner, the English-speaking people, of Vietnamese, how do you do it? How do you tell them that, okay, this is how you describe past tense, present tense, future tense, present perfect, past perfect? For me, I'm not sure, how other people see it, but you know what, the way I see it, knowing both languages and probably being in both worlds, that's exactly what I see it. Even though, despite a lot of people, the native speakers of English, they say, oh, they don't have, intonation system like Vietnamese does. Oh, they don't have those kind of like Vietnamese doesn't have grammar. We do have grammars. It's just very different, very different way. That's my take on that kind of stuff. Okay, so that's gonna be episode number 4, and maybe I'm gonna add maybe some exercise onto the worksheet that I already posted up last week or something. Okay, I might use another worksheet onto the assistant spreadsheet that I posted, for this section of the video. Different tenses and knowing the equivalence of both languages for each part of them. Okay, bye.